I am so excited to bring you my client, Leslie, who's going to share her experience working together. Welcome, Leslie.
Hey, Sandy!
Woohoo!
East Coast, West Coast.
I know Leslie's out in the San Francisco Bay Area, right? And
Yeah.
I'm here in Connecticut. And Leslie and I have been working together for a number of years in many different capacities. So I think you started out as an inner circle member, my group coaching.
Yes.
You were one of the original. And then you joined probably every course I've ever taught on how to find love online and how to communicate with men. And you joined our boundaries course. And what else? I've taught a bunch of courses. So you've been through all my courses.
The first retreat.
Oh, and the first annual retreat last year where we met for the first time, and we had been on each other's radar for so long. So that was awesome.
I'm a founding member.
You don't remember, did you say?
No, I said I'm like a founding member.
A founding member, absolutely. Yeah, you are a what do we call, like a VIP pro client. And so what I want to talk to you about today, you've also worked with me privately. So I want to talk to you about your experience. Well, let's start with why you've been following me all these years. What is it about my work that has resonated for you?
Yes, I think, Sandy, the number one reason is that you are more than a dating coach. To me, you're a relationship coach. You teach skills and you help people see things about themselves that have, in my case, that blocked me from having fulfilling relationships of all kinds. And you've helped me see that if I don't have self-compassion, and if I don't even know what a good relationship looks like, how can I ever have a healthy, loving relationship with a man? The fact that you interrelate those two, to me, was instinctively attractive, and I didn't know quite why. But I'm so glad. I'm so glad I signed up on the Sandy Weiner coaching train. Right.
Oh.
As it turned out to be what I really needed, because to me, the changes and the skills are life-changing. And to me, you can't just like segment out your dating life. I mean, yes, there's practical tips, and you've been great on that, scripts and, writing better online dating profiles, really practical things. But to me, I just knew I had to do some inner work. I just didn't know quite what it was. And I think without, particularly the one-on-one coaching, that was like the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae to get deeper in all those things. Does that answer? That for me is the biggest thing.
Yeah, so thank you for that. And I definitely am much more of a whole life coach, and that is my background.
Okay. I
start with the life coaching, and then I go into the dating as a subset. But you can't isolate dating as the only thing, because we are part of a whole system.
Right.
So when I coach, and I know many times you came to me with issues outside of dating, whether it was letting go of the past, whether it was people pleasing and learning how to speak up and show up differently in your life with all people, including family members, friendships that weren't working anymore. All of those things clear the way for you to have a healthier relationship with a man. And I think that when you came to me with the private coaching, after all those other things that you did, and I think that what I was hearing from you, well, you mentioned that you had hit a wall. And I think, and it was sort of like in a marathon when you hit the wall and you've
Yes,
done all the work and you're so
right.
close, but you can't get past that wall. And I love that saying, and I want to hear what it is for you, but I want to say that so many women come to me because they intellectually understand all of what they need to do, but the actual embodiment and practice is much harder. So you might know it in your head, and you know you have to make these changes, and you've worked on a lot of things, but that last piece where it's totally ingrained, where you become that woman of value, that is elusive to a lot of people. So tell us, what was that wall for you?
Yeah, that's right. The wall image, which if there are any marathon runners out there, my daughter is, I'm not, I'm the cheerleader. You hit mile 20 and you just think there is no way I'm going to make those last 6 miles. And you're just trying to put one foot in front of the other. And for me, yes, it was like this buildup of knowing that I was so close to some kind of a, I don't know, breakthrough sounds almost right, close enough. But for me, it was really acknowledging and understanding that I was a people pleaser and that I didn't have to be that way anymore, that I could still be true to myself and still hold the values that I have without giving so much of myself away, that it wasn't healthy for me and it really wasn't healthy for the people around me, even though of course I thought it was because I'd been doing it for 60 plus years. That it just no longer worked. And to have that confidence with your help, your coaching help, that I could change and I didn't have to live that way anymore. That I wasn't a bad person if I stopped being a people pleaser, which was huge for me. I think that was the wall, because the wall was, but how can I, how can I still be nice but yet stick up for myself? And how can I have boundaries and yet still have these friendships? They seem mutually exclusive. They seem like it wasn't possible to do both.
Yeah,
and now
I've
the wall for me
doing both.
Right. And that no, you can, and you can sleep well at night and still have friends that want to have coffee with you.
Yeah. And get rid of the friends who are not right for you. So that was a big shift for you. And I think it's true of almost all my clients come to me with some sense of people pleasing. And I'm a recovered people pleaser. So
yes.
I'm the perfect person to help people pleasers. It's the reason it doesn't work is because we become out of alignment with who we are as people. When you're trying to please others, it's at the cost of listening to your own needs. And so having the skills which you develop so beautifully on how to set your limits without being mean really changed so many of your relationships. And I remember you speaking up with a friend who had hurt you years ago and a while back, and you had been carrying some hurt feelings and didn't know how to express yourself. And together we scripted ways for you to speak up, and she was so responsive, and it was amazing. And you were able to let it go.
Yes.
Forward.
Oh my God, I've forgotten it, because I remember going, oh, wow, that wasn't so hard.
Yeah.
She didn't say, well, we're done. Our friendship's over. So I was like, what? It just felt like such a weight was lifted.
Yeah. And so what we do in the rest of our lives is what we do in our dating lives. And I was just at a full day event where the coach who was in charge gave us all puzzles to do in groups.
Hmm.
And we didn't know why. We were doing these like children's puzzles. And you see immediately how some people take charge. Some people are like, oh, now let's do all the edges and let's get all the colors right. And other people are stepping back. And afterwards, we debriefed. How was it? And because it said on the top of the paper, how you do this puzzle is how you live your life, how you do the rest of your life.
Wow.
Same kind of thing. It was really profound. Very short exercise, but this is exactly what we're talking about here, because the people who had to take control realized that they didn't have to control everything. The people who, felt like they always had to delegate were realizing that it helps to have other people do things with you. All those things that we don't do well sometimes in our lives. So we try to take control of everything, or we're on to the next thing. Like for me, it was putting the final piece in and going, okay, what's next? Not just celebrating what is.
Oh, right. Yeah. Another puzzle? Oh.
Yeah, another puzzle, another game. Yeah, let's go. It's like, slow down. So these are all life skills that help you in all your relationships. And when you find that special guy, you're going to be dating completely differently. I know you got back online recently. We redid your profile again. And it's going to be totally different. You move past a lot of the resistance that you had to online dating. So tell us, so what's your approach now?
Well, I'm still, do have a few challenges on that, I'll be honest, but that's me. But a huge sea change, I mean, this is enormous, is that I'm not, and I've learned this from you, I'm not taking things personally. If I don't hear back from a guy, like I remember thinking, oh my gosh, we have so many things in common and da 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 da. And I wrote such a clever email and he didn't even acknowledge. I know he read it, but he didn't respond. And oh my God. I hate online dating. I don't have these extreme emotions anymore about online dating. That it's me. I didn't do the email right, or my pictures aren't good enough, and overthinking. It's like, oh, okay, well, for whatever reason, that wasn't meant to be. No big. Okay, he didn't answer. Okay, whatever. On to the next. Okay. Right now, my challenge, and this is me, is just the ongoing one for me, is putting going on online dating a higher priority with other things that are going on in my life.
Yeah.
And just being real honest here. I mean, we all still have to take responsibility, even after getting great coaching from people like Sandy. We still have to do the work, but I don't have all this like heavy cloud hanging over me about the online dating, and I don't get upset about things, like I did. And I do feel more skilled about it, because you do help with a lot of those things on, short emails, just all kinds of little tips. So I feel more confident. I feel more confident when I'm approaching it. And I just think, well, okay, I just have to keep at it. It's kind of on me now. Yeah. But I'm thinking like the world, this is the worst thing ever. There's no good man. I don't feel that way. I feel much more open, or just, I don't know if open's, but just positive, I guess, positive. I feel more positive about online dating than I did.
That's awesome. So what I'm hearing also is not only self-compassion, but an understanding of men, more compassion, an understanding of online dating and how it works. It's not personal. The ability to process your emotions like that and not take things personally and not let things derail you is amazing. I mean, that is a life skill that so many people don't have. And when you can do that, you're not reactive. You know how to communicate more effectively.
Right.
You know, you don't bring all this angst and past garbage to the next man. And that is going to be huge.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. That's a really good point.
Yeah. So, you know, all the time that I spent with you, going online with you, sharing screens and, you know, actually showing you how to search and message, and until you became comfortable and confident with it. And it's all skill building. And I think what a lot of people don't realize is that it takes time to build skills, but relationships, love, dating, they're all skill based. So some of it is the internal work that we do, which is also based on skills that we learn. And some of it is the external stuff, the knowing how to meet men, where to meet men, how to navigate online dating. So like you said, there's the tips and tools, and there's also the life skills that really have shifted your life. And I love witnessing the growth in you and the ability to trust yourself, to have that inner knowing about, am I doing the right thing or the wrong thing? It's just so much more clear now. And I love witnessing how you've grown tremendously. Yay!
We never stop learning, hopefully.
No, we never stop. So thank you, Leslie. Any other parting words?
Yeah, I thought of one more thing I wanted to say about the one-on-one coaching compared to all the other wonderful things I did with, I did with you, is that there's the accountability factor. Which is something I need, you know, that every week having to answer certain questions and focus on, report on something that I've been working on. I mean, I needed that accountability, and I think that it really helped me dig deeper and get beyond just getting into those things you talked about, the core values, and getting beyond just the skills, but just, okay, what's really going on inside of me? And I need, you know, I couldn't just totally brush it under the rug because I had to, I don't know, do something or other else in my life. And you're really making yourself a priority.
Yeah.
When you do the one-on-one coaching, which is huge, to like, oh, I can do that. I can make myself a priority. I mean, that's kind of, for people pleasers, that's big to say, I can make myself a priority here.
Yeah, put yourself at the top of the to-do list.
Yeah, and stick to it. And you know, it's a lifelong thing for me because I need to get back on it. But I'm so much further. Oh my gosh, I just feel like a new person.
Oh,
thanks.
Thank you, Leslie.
You're so welcome.
Yeah, so anybody who's interested in private coaching, check this out. This is what's happening for you. All right, I'm gonna stop the recording.